Here I'm going to show you how to use the different types of lasso tool in Photoshop. So again, I'm just going to open up a stock image that I have on my computer. Now, different types of lasso tool that you might use will be depending on how accurately you want to cut something out, really. So the third tool that we see down here, you can see is called our lasso tool. Now, there are three different types. There's a simple lasso tool, there's the polygonal lasso tool, and there's the magnetic lasso tool. So the first lasso tool, you just click and drag your mouse around the area that you want to transform or cut or take into another composition. And then when you let go of the mouse button, you will see you'll get this dashed line around it again, and we can then move that around, transform it, delete it, or do whatever we like with it, really. The second lasso tool is called the polygonal lasso tool. Now with this tool it's a little bit different. You click once and then you drag the mouse to a different point and it creates a straight line to your next point. So you can see that we can be a bit more accurate with this. If you're cutting out something that's got quite hard edges, maybe some sort of geometric shape or anything like that, it's ideal. But you still can't be that accurate with it. But again, if you just need something cut out roughly, it's quite easy. Now with this one, when you get back to your original start point, you'll see that you get a little tiny circle appear next to the lasso tool, which means that you've come back round to the start of your selection. So you need to wait until you get that little circle appear, and then you click one last time, and then you've made a much more accurate selection, again, that we can move around or we can delete. Now the third lasso tool is probably the most useful, in my opinion. It's called the magnetic lasso tool. Now with this one, it tries to recognise the part of the image that you want to cut out, mainly depending on difference of colour. So it might be a bit tricky to do it with this image, because when you don't have a defined area that's different in colour from the area that you want to cut out, you sometimes have to do a little bit of manual work. But for around the top of the truck, it should be okay. It will also depend on how high about how the quality of your image. So with a low quality image that's a bit pixelated, it's sometimes a little bit harder for Photoshop to decide what you want to cut out. But we'll have a go here and you can see how it works. So if we start off in a corner of the image that's got quite a contrasting colour to the background that we want to take it from. And you can see that you don't have to click, but as you move around the selection or around the object that you want to cut out, Photoshop tries to decide for you and it makes points automatically. So I'm not having to click here, I'm just moving the mouse around quite carefully, and it's recognising that I want to try and cut out the top of this truck. You can also click to create manual points along the way, just to try and keep it accurately. So you see we've had a bit of trouble here, it's taken the part of the road out, so we can just click backspace and try and click to make some manual points ourselves. So here I'm going to quickly try and cut out the truck. Now here I'm using a combination of manual click points myself when I don't think that Photoshop is going to do it accurately enough, but sometimes I'm just letting Photoshop do the work. See, around the tyre here, Photoshop's going to have trouble because it's going to mix in the, it's going to get confused between the tyre and the shadow of the tyre that we have underneath the car. So here I'm making a lot of the points manually myself. Again, it's jumped a bit there, so I'm going to use the backspace. And you can see I'm just going to keep going around the truck until I've got something roughly that I want to use as part of a different image. Just go around the wing mirror here. And again, when we get back to that original point that we first made, you see it creates a small circle next to the lasso tool. and that means it's back to our original start point. So here we've created a much more accurate cutout of an image that we might want to use for something else. So here what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this part of the image, which is going to be the truck, into a new document, and I'm going to save that so I can then use that in a different composition. So I'm going to go edit copy, create a new image. Now when you create a new document after you've already copied a selection from a different image, it will automatically try and create a new document for you, dependent on the image that you've already cut out. I'm going to make it a transparent background so I can talk to you more about the ways that we can affect that image. And then here I'm just going to go paste, edit paste. So here you can see now we've just got the truck that's been cut out of our image before.